Hey folks, I was just sitting here petting my dog here down there. She's come up to see me. But Tuesday night it broke on Fox News. I saw it on Greta. The many emails that outlined the absolute concrete fact that I've been saying that the White House knew exactly what was going on. In fact, apparently these emails went to some 300 people in the upper echelons of government, from CIA to NSA to the White House Situation Room, which is the room where the president and Secretary of State and Vice President and Secretary of Defense, where they were all huddled together during the Bin Laden raid. The State Department, White House, all these people received all these emails. Um, and as many questions as it answers, it creates even more. We now know that the president is a bold-faced, lying sack of crap. And the media is still, for the most part, carrying his water, not carrying the story. This president looked at you. He reminds me of a president that looked in the camera and said, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky." You remember that? Remember that president that looked directly in the camera and looked at the American people and said that? So, um, you remember that during the debate with Romney and Obama when the president got all indignant? Well, I'm offended that you think that we would use that as use that in politics. The Secretary of State and I had to, we were there when the caskets came home. And he said that, and he acted indignant, and he looked at the camera, he looked at the American people, and put on that show. That sick bastard. We have a sick son of a bitch for a president that can allow he allowed, let me tell you this, and I don't care what, if you're conservative, Democrat, I don't care what you are. That president let 4 Americans die. He sat on his ass. We know, we've got timelines. The president was awake. This was a 7-hour attack, starting somewhere around, 4:30 or so. He was awake. Matter of fact, he was scheduled to be in the White House around 5 o'clock, in the Oval Office, I believe is what they said. He did nothing. They had live video. They watched it on video in real time. As sure as you're watching this video, he knew exactly. He let those people die. We had assets. We know. We had aircraft. And where did the drone come from? How did they know to put the drone over the area to watch all this? Who ordered that drone? Yeah, I'm just stumped. We had a general come out and say, we had assets in Sicily. I think it was 450 miles away. And you figure you can get a plane, kick that thing in afterburner. They'd been there in 20 minutes. Okay? They let an ambassador, his aide, and 2 Navy SEALs die needlessly. I can't even tell you how that sickens me. Let me tell you, the president's commander-in-chief. I also know he's a civilian. But I'll tell you what, as commander-in-chief, at the very least, he had to be arrested and thrown in a brig for dereliction of duty. But I know he's not subject to the UCMJ. He just holds everyone else accountable for it. He's just, the commander of all the forces. And as a civilian, Dad, at least charge that guy with depraved indifference. The man stood by, just sat there and let 4 people die. What the hell is what the hell is the matter with that man? What kind of sick bastard does that? Had he done something, if he'd have sent a cruise missile in or something, what? The American people can understand that if something happened, say he went in and sent a cruise missile in there, and say there was some Americans were killed by friendly fire. Say the missile missed and took out a couple of Americans. As bad as that would be, we could accept that. We could say, man, you tried. We get it. War is nasty. It's ugly. It's not this clean, sterile thing. We get that. But you did nothing. You stood by. You didn't even stand up. You sat on you went to bed. Why? So you could get up the next day and go to what? The View or the Letterman Show or a fundraiser with Jay-Z and Beyonce? Speaking of that, I can't see how the president is even remotely. I can. I can see how the president has the votes that he has, because I saw a reporter at an Obama function in Ohio. It was at a college where he walked around with a microphone asking people, do you know what Benghazi is? They don't. They don't have a damn clue. Obama voters, the majority of them, have their heads shoved right up their asses. They don't care. They think it's novel to vote for a half black guy or half white guy. They just like the novel idea of it. They love the platitudes that he sings. They don't look at the substance. You just keep eating that cotton candy he keeps shoving down your throat. And you know what's eventually going to happen to you? You're going to get your damn teeth rotted out. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get scurvy. You're going to get diabetes. That's what the president's policies, their sickness, wrapped in this sweetness. And you're like, oh, this is good. Yeah, this is good. And next thing you know, you're in bad shape. Your teeth are rotted out. You're diabetic. You're dependent on the government insulin now. But what kind of man could do that? The president's not a man. He's not a man. You know why? Because a man wouldn't sit by and let 4 people die needlessly. A man wouldn't let his Secretary of State fall on the sword, sorta. Speaking of that little cackling, cankle-biting misfit, did you hear what she had to say? She started kind of chuckling at the fact of those emails when they came out. They got unclassified. She's like, well, you better get all the facts and what they are. Yeah. Madam Secretary, 4 Americans are dead. And you're complicit in it too. I also want to know, General Petraeus, you're the head of the CIA. You knew exactly what was going on. Damn it, sir. You're a general. Act like one. You know what? I want someone in the military, please, somebody in the military, if you see this, if nobody in the military sees this, please, somebody forward this to someone who you know in the military and tell me why it is that nobody who had the ability to do something about this did something. Because I know the vast majority of the troops that were stationed wherever, in Sicily, had they known what was going on for the 7 hours that this fight went on, I guarantee you, if there were Navy SEALs in Sicily, they'd have grabbed a snorkel and a freaking knife and they'd have swam across the water to Libya to get in there, to get into the fight. Because they're warriors. Now we got a bunch of complacent. I want to know, Petraeus, did you betray these troops? Did you sit on your ass with that data and you did nothing because you were playing politics? Because you were afraid of the president? I hope the hell not. But I can't help. You're the head of the CIA. There were 12 reports on the president's desk, and I believe one of them was from the CIA. Where were those in the military that are willing to put their heads on a chopping block to do the right thing? Damn it, that's what it is. That's what it is to be a soldier. I get it. You have orders to follow. But you know what? When someone tells you to stand by and let 4 people die, including 2 Navy SEALs and 2 civilians, needlessly. Now, I'll tell you what, I saw Glenn Beck the other night. He raises even more questions than I do. I guess there was a Turkish defense minister, I believe is what it was. He came to that embassy just an hour or 2? He was allowed to get into the embassy, and then he left. And then this attack happens. Well, now we find out about all this gun running that's flowing from weapons that the president, the White House, this government sold or gave to the Libyans Weapons are streaming into Syria. U.S. weapons are falling into the hands of these Syrian rebels. Who are these people? I've said, you go look back. Go look back to my September 14th video. I was pretty clear. These rebels, they're not rebels. These aren't rebels like we think of rebels. Like us citizens fighting against the British. These are Al Qaeda. The White House sold weapons to Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda's the people who flew planes into the tower. People, wake up. Share this video. Send a link. Ask the questions. Who had the authorization to put that drone up over the embassy and watch that slaughter for 7 hours? Did that person not have the ability to send in an aircraft or 2 aircraft or a Reaper or a cruise missile, a Tomahawk, something to sidetrack? We now have a general saying that if we would at least just set 1 airplane in there and buzz the treetops, it would have given the terrorists something else to focus on. I said that a month ago. Why is no one asking the tough questions? And I'll tell you, my blood pressure goes up every time I talk about this, because I'll tell you what, the president needs to be, at the very least, impeached. This man ought to be locked up for a long damn time. You know what he did? His depraved indifference, this would be like a house on fire, okay? Seeing a little 5-year-old girl in the window of a house while the flames are licking around her. And there's a firefighter with a ladder up against the window, standing at the bottom, waiting for the fire chief to get there and say, well, go get her. In the meantime, the house burns down and she dies. Why? Because someone sat there and waited for someone to tell them to do the right thing. I get it that we just can't have people acting unilaterally. But you know what? That's why we have a chain of command. And damn it, if we don't have people capable of making a decision without having to run it through lawyers and White House and Valerie Jarrett and Michelle Obama and the whole rest of them, then get the hell out of it. We need to get this man the hell out of office. Put him back on the streets where he can go organize all the gangbangers. He does not belong, nor does anyone affiliated with that man belong in any position of authority. I'm sick and tired. This man makes me sick. And he ought to make everyone else sick. He doesn't give a damn about you. He just proves he'll sacrifice 4 Americans for his own political ass. He didn't want this to come out. Al Qaeda's not on the run. He thought, I killed bin Laden. That's the trophy. I win. It doesn't matter. Al Qaeda is like a chameleon. You cut the damn tail off, another one grows. You didn't cut the head off. You cut the tail off, and another one grew back. I got no problem with killing Al Qaeda members. I got no problem with that. But don't think that I killed bin Laden. That's it. Game over. We win. No, Al Qaeda is stronger than ever. You know what they do? They just go to where we're not. And they know we got a president that doesn't have the stomach to do the right thing. They know we've got a president he's a water boy for the Muslim Brotherhood is what he is. He's a puppet. He's a punk. That's right. I call the president a punk. I'll call him a punk to his face. Because a punk does what he does. Lets 4 Americans die. Lets a woman halfway fall on her sword to cover his butt. Mr. President, all the screw-ups. Who's been fired? Why haven't we seen anyone fired or removed from office? Removed from their position? Yeah. You're trying to keep this swept under the carpet. Please, forward this video. Please, go do your own. You can't listen to me, folks. You cannot rely on MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC. You cannot rely on these type of networks to get the facts. They're not covering it. They're hiding it. They're sweeping it under the rug because they have an agenda. The agenda isn't to get you the truth. The agenda is to protect this president, to insulate him. Okay, and they're trying to keep this under the carpet. This isn't by any means over. We've got a president that sold weapons to terrorists intentionally. This is huge. This is huge. We had Nixon step down because of someone broke into a hotel and he tried to cover it up. He stepped down for that. We have got to hold our officials accountable. And whether that be Obama, whether that be Mitt Romney, you know what? I do support Mitt Romney. But I'll tell you what, that doesn't mean I'm going to give him a pass by any means. I will hold his feet to the fire. He's responsible for the promises he told me. And Republicans have shown we'll throw our own out of the office. We won't show up to vote. We need to clean house. We need to get this sick son of a bitch, this political streetwalker, off. We need to get him off the stage, out of the Oval Office. This man is not fit to be president. And had this not been so close to the election, I would pray to God that we could get our useless leaders in Congress, John Boehner and Mitch McConnell, somebody to start drafting articles of impeachment against this man. He lied to the American people. Folks, he looked directly at you and lied. Please, do this, okay? Last night, Wednesday evening, on the Glenn Beck program, okay? I don't care if you like Glenn Beck. I don't care if you've never heard of him. I don't care if you don't like. You can sign up for like a 30-day free trial. He even tells you, sign up, watch this, cancel it if you just don't sign up. But folks, please go sign up on it's gbtv.com or theblaze.com. Sign up. It's a free trial. And watch Wednesday. Everything's archived. Watch Wednesday's episode. Okay? Listen to what Glenn has to say. Don't just take his word for it. Go out and verify it. He's got all the documents, the binder of pages of emails that were sent from our embassy to all these agencies. It's all there. It's documented. What I'm saying, what Glenn Beck is saying, what these people are saying, is the truth. It's verified. Please go watch it. This election is too important to just sit there and carry one person's water or the other person's water. You have to look at what they say and verify it. Please go do it. Spread this video if you'd like. Glenn Beck is far more articulate than I am, and he's got the actual documentation and all the stuff on the, in live, so you can see it. You can see all the printouts and everything. gbtv.com. Go in there. You can get a 30-day free trial. It's well worth it. If even if you don't agree with the man, at least you can see what the other side is thinking. But please, that is so important to watch. So I appreciate you watching this one. I know this was a longer than usual video, but you forward it if you'd like. But again, please just spread the word and do the do the verification independently. All right. God bless America.